Stirring the coffee with chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level, good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, coffee. Perfect. I made it in a percolator today. This is Trader Joe's dark roast. It's actually pretty good. If you ever get a chance to try it, you'll really like it. One of the things that I used to hate about a percolator was that it would burn the coffee if you left it in there too long. So I make 2 cups of coffee. I drink 1 cup. By the time I go to the second cup, it doesn't taste like the first cup because it just continues to heat the coffee and it just gives it a burnt, nasty flavor. So I remember, and I'm talking about 40 years ago, my buddy Craig, who you guys have met through my videos and pictures and stuff, the guy who died a couple weeks ago, he always had a large thermos on his kitchen counter. And when I would go to see him, I remember he'd pour a couple cups of coffee and then take the rest and put it in a thermos and then close the thermos up. And then all other coffee after that was poured from the thermos, and the coffee maker was unplugged. That way it didn't keep cooking, keep burning the coffee, and just always had a fresh flavor. So that's just a little tip that my friend Craig turned me on to many, many years ago. Oh, real quick, I got a text from my son this morning. Here it is. It's still pretty dark out. And I got a text from my oldest son. He was excited that he got a French press, and he said it reminded him of me. So, when a dad hears from his kids, it's pretty exciting. Just when, there's a lot of old jokes about, I thought you were dead. You mean you're still alive? Oh my God, he's alive. And I get a text saying, I got a French press, and it made me think of you. And boy, that just thrilled my heart. I just feel 1,000 times better. Not that I felt bad, but hearing from your kids makes you feel good, even if it's just a simple thing like, I got a French press and I thought of you, Dad. So that was kind of cool. Did you ever have a dream and you're afraid to talk about it because you might think people will think you're crazy? And that's probably true. I've always said, if people don't laugh at your dreams, then your dreams are not big enough. I don't want people's responses to be, okay, that's cool. Hope it works out for you. I want people to say, are you kidding me? That'll never happen. I like that kind of response because it shows me that I'm acting out in faith. Now, my feet are firmly planted on the ground when it comes to future things, when it comes to investments, when it comes to my love life and meeting a woman because I'm open to marriage. And I wrote these things down the other day when someone asked me about it, and it was the first time I literally shared it with somebody. And it might sound crazy, and you might laugh. But here's my dream for the Daybreak Ranch. I'm just going to read it to you. I have a vision for a Daybreak Ranch, which will also house the Daybreak Studio for production 7 days a week. It can also be rented out for other content creators to help sustain it. It could be an old church camp that closed down, or a series of outbuildings that contain private rooms for retreat guests. It will also be a rescue ranch for abandoned animals, as well as a very small farm with goats, chickens, sheep, and maybe 1 cow. I envision 12 to 20 guests at a time for very specific retreats. Second career direction retreat, that's something that I would teach a whole weekend of just career counseling, career tests, talking things over, finding direction for a second career, which usually means it would be for an older person. It would be kind of like the adult version of a guidance counselor weekend. Post-divorce healing for men. Post-divorce respite for men. Men's strength retreats, very similar to what my friend Elliot Hulse does. A ladies' Proverbs 31 retreat weekend, which would be taught by a woman or women, not myself. I do believe that men should be teaching men and that women should be teaching women. There will be a law enforcement officer plus spouse retreats, a retreat center retreat weekend for clergy in transition, and also a civics retreat for those that desire to run for public office. And I would be bringing in various officials who are awakened but not woke to teach civics to people who never learned it. I learned civics. I don't even think it's taught anymore in school. It's probably going to be about 10 to 50 acres, ideally in East Central Florida, Brevard County, ideally an hour an hour from Melbourne, Florida. Easy to fly in and out of. Year-round retreats. Why Florida? Because there's going to be year-round retreats in the 12-month summer-like climate. My wife, of course now I'm speaking in faith, my wife will be the administrative person of the Daybreak Ranch. She will also spearhead some of the women's initiatives, as I believe men should teach men and women to teach women. So my wife is also part of this. I also envision many small shed buildings that are like pustinas, a small shed with a bed, a simple desk, a chair, a lamp, a cross on the wall for pustinia weekends of contemplation, devotion, worship, prayer, that kind of thing. I want to make it clear it's not a Christian retreat center. It's not a Christian camp, although I am Christian, but I believe anyone could come to the Daybreak Ranch and benefit from it. The guests will help with the daily feeding and care of the animals in their own quest for wholeness and recovery. There will be a courtyard area with benches around a large bonfire pit for nightly gatherings. There will also once a month be a moonly gathering. When I say moonly, during a full moon. Nothing pagan or heathen here. It will be a moonly gathering once a month. The studio will be professional quality and produce the Daybreak show and an evening show and interview shows and so forth, and podcasts. Many of you have been asking for podcasts as well. The studio can also be rented out to other content creators. Fitness, nutrition, and health will be built into all the retreats and respite weekends with an outdoor fitness area, not necessarily a gym. Think about some parks that have fitness areas with various chin-up bars, dip bars, things like that for body weight exercises. So those are classes or a period of time every day devoted to that will be customized for each person according to their health level, fitness level, their age, and so forth, and their ability to do the exercises. My residence will also be on the grounds, but not amongst the cabins or the actual retreat center, the sheds, the studio, and the animals. It'll be maybe at the other end of the acreage. There will be brief morning devotions or what I would call guided thinking time, and early evening contemplative meeting as well. There will be intensive whiteboard sessions in the competency-based curriculum. This isn't all just feel-good kind of retreat stuff. Stuff will happen. When I say a competency-based curriculum, this literally means, and I quote, by the end of this retreat, you will have a greater understanding of A, B, and C, whatever those topics are, and will be able to do or execute X, Y, and Z. So it's not just, like I said, a feel-good weekend. Things are going to get done. There will be breakthroughs. There will be healing. There will be bravery. There will be courage for people who never had that. The purpose is for guests to have breakthroughs and start formulating an action plan for change for the next year of their life. And there will be follow-up. I will be following everyone up. So this is not just a getaway weekend. When someone comes to the Daybreak Ranch for whatever retreat, whatever weekend it is, I will be hounding you for a year for change. And I want proof, or as some of the young guys say, receipts of change and growth, transformation. That's important. Alumni will be invited back to help counsel future attendees of the retreats and respite weekends. So once you come to the ranch, you are always welcome back to assist others, especially if it's a weekend, a very specific weekend where you have skills and experience in dealing with certain things. You might be able to help those people that are attending that particular weekend. On the Abbey weekends, when the ranch becomes Daybreak Abbey, Abbey weekends guests will take vows of silence, solitude, and service for the whole weekend, and then talk about their 3 S's after each night's devotional lesson in the classroom. There will be a small chapel that will be open 24/7. If someone wants to wander in and pray or contemplate, there will be a space devoted for this. Like I said, this Daybreak Ranch with a every other month Daybreak Abbey weekend could be an old camp that closed down. It could be a closed church. It could be a church that has many outbuildings on the property. It could be a closed hotel that's no longer in service. So I'm open to the layout, but I'm very firm on the programming, the methodology, and the end results of each retreat. Although I am Christian, this will not be considered a Christian retreat center. The love and wisdom of Christ will be shown by me and staff, but it is not a Christian retreat center. I don't necessarily have the desire to create a religious institution, as there are so many great ones out there. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. But this center, Respite Center, Retreat Center, can be rented by various groups for their retreat purposes. The Daybreak Ranch and Daybreak Abbey weekends are a place of healing, vision, action, and rekindling of dreams. That's the vision of the Daybreak Abbey and Ranch in a nutshell. And this is only literally the second time that I talked about this. If you're not laughing already, maybe my dreams aren't big enough, because that's what I taught you. If people don't laugh at your dreams, then maybe your dreams aren't big enough. What if you fail, you might say, and I will reply, well, what if you fly? What if it works? What if you take off? What if it really works for you? What if it's putzing along? Like what if it's like a vehicle that's going, or airplane that just can't stay up in the air? You got to tweak things while they are in motion. Do not wait for conditions to be perfect before you start pursuing your dreams. Conditions will never be perfect. If you're waiting for things to be perfect, if you're waiting for all the money to be there, if you're waiting for everything just to be all perfect, you will never start, and your dream will never be actualized, ever. So you need to start. And you can only tweak things and improve things as they are in motion. What dreams do you have that people might think are crazy? I challenge you right now to, even if it's long form, put your dream down below. Tell me about it. Tell me about your dream. Be specific if you can. If you don't want to do it publicly, write me, gb@georgebruno.com. And I will pray that you have the boldness to pursue that, and the guts to do it, and the courage to stand up when other people start mocking you, because it's going to happen. Let's get real. It's going to happen. It needs to be written down. And you can have a guy in Philadelphia who's on your side, who's rooting for you, who will be thinking about you. And I'm not talking about, well, you're in my thoughts and prayers. I mean, literally, you will be prayed for. Literally. And with that, finish your coffee And I'll see you tomorrow on the Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, reason, and respite.
Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other. So far as the echo, where do we start? You can learn to discover a million stars. Here in the shadows, I know you're scared. Take my hand, together we'll make a stand. We've got to fight to find a way. Dare to fall to find out what to say. No more hate. Just admit that you're just afraid. Time to let go of all your fears and pride. Stand up beside me, don't you hide. We can build a better place. If we can just find a way, then we can live a better day. Rise from the ashes, from the anger, from the war. Let's come together, lift your spirit for the cause. We should be equal, should be living free. All together, one and all, let's build a dream. Just admit that you're just afraid. Let go of all your fears and pride. Stand up beside me, don't you hide. We can build a better place. If we can just find a way, then we can live a better day. 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 Rise from the ashes, from the anger, from the war. Let's come together, lift your spirit for the cause. We should be equal, should be living free. All together, one and all. All together, one and all. All together, one and all. Let's live a better day.